Welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. Rechelle Mackay here. How are we? Today is the 8th of July. I cannot believe it. How many months we got? I don't know about you, but I love spring. So we've got 2 months to enjoy this hermiting and really going deep and getting within before that beautiful spring comes out and there's new growth. I always am a big believer of when the spring hits, it's like all this new generation and new energy unfolds within us. So right now we're going through a time of, you know, going through the deep work, going through the stuff that's coming up through us and acknowledging it and processing. And I myself have been doing that. And I actually have found a rhythm since I've been doing this work as an empowerment coach and spiritual mentor. I have seen that winter really sort of, if you understand seasonal work, when you go through processes, it's like winter's like a season. It's like you get cozy within yourself and you go deep within yourself. And spring is like this, oh, okay, so everything's starting to grow again. We're starting to get really clear on decisions. And yeah, it's just, I'm going to actually do something around this as far as a separate video or a podcast, because it has appeared to me that when the winter comes, the spring and the summer and the autumn, they all have these different energies. So I want to actually share with you what they are and how they can help you and whether you relate or resonate with those things. So yeah, so you'll be seeing a little bit on this channel about that, and I will talk about it in the readings too as well. But just a little bit about it is right now I can tell you what's coming through for everybody that I am connected to. And if you're here watching this, you have to be connected in some way. Something has to have resonated, or you were meant to see this video for whatever the reason. But right now I can tell you decisions do not make right now, but do the processing, go through the pros and cons, the negatives and the positives, and don't make a decision right yet. I want to say that to you. So with saying that, I'm going to go and shuffle the cards because we're going to do another reading today around decisions. Just in case, because I haven't dealt the cards yet, but just in case there is some of you out there watching that it is the right time. But I got a strong pull again today for this week's reading. It's around decisions. Everything is around decisions at the moment. And as I said to you, winter is a time of inward. You know, we sort of become hermits instead of wanting to get out there. And I feel it's an energy thing. It's not. You don't have to believe this either, but I can tell you, if you're here and you're watching this video, there is something inside of you that is meant to be here. You've connected with me for a reason, and this work and this energy. Okay, so I'm going to go and shuffle the cards and I'm going to come back and let's talk about it more. So the deck I'm using again is Angel Answers. I used them last week, and I'm going to only choose this week 2 cards for you. So I want to keep it really simple this week. And this card that's really spoken out to me is this one, number 1. And this one here, number 2. So choose your card, close your eyes, and just take a breath and say to yourself, what card is right for me now? 1 or 2? No, sorry, 1 or 2. All right, so take a breath, breathe in deeply, and say to yourself, which card do I need to know? Which one needs to give me an answer today? And I'll be back. Okay, card chooses number 1. I just got a wave of emotion around card chooses number 1. So the card, and this will make a lot of sense when you get what it says. It says recovery. So for you, what I want to say is you've been going through some emotional stuff within yourself, and you've needed to go through a healing. And being that it's related to decisions, and that's what I energetically felt for the people in the reading today that are watching this reading today, what I would say to you is you need to take a step back and deal with your stuff that's going on within inside of you before you make any decisions. Now, if that doesn't relate to you and you feel like, well, that doesn't really make any sense, I just want to give you a few other little hints as to how to know whether this is the answer for you. So someone that was in recovery and was healing through a process of emotions, I would say to you, if you were not saying yes to that and you were scared to admit that to yourself, I would say to you, do you feel like every day that there's just something not right within you? Because that would also be a sign of you going through recovery or a healing. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you are up every day and you're crying and you're feeling sad. You don't have to have those types of emotions going on to be going through a process of healing. You can also be going through a recovery or a healing if you are feeling like, oh my God, there's just something not right. Why am I feeling like this? Why am I not feeling satisfied anymore? That is also a sign of recovery and healing as well. So it's like, what is missing? So if that just resonated, I feel like that bit just did then. If something feels like it's missing or something doesn't feel like it's right, it's time to step back and go, okay, I need to be with myself right now. I need to do the things that are gonna basically give me that feel good, whether it's exercise, whether it's changing your food habits, whether it's just being with your mates, being with your partner, stepping away from the mundane and not making a decision. Now, it doesn't say in this card that you shouldn't make a decision, but for me, what it's saying is it's time for you. And you never make decisions, I believe, you never make decisions when you're going through that stage, because if you are emotional or if you feel like something is missing, you may make a decision that you could regret. So, when we're going through a healing, these are the signs. The signs are you could be emotional, you could feel quite down and I don't like to use the word depressed, but I'm going to say you could feel depressed on life. You could feel depressed on where you're at in your life. You could be like, I should have been here, but I'm really there, right? Or I'm here, but I want to be there. Sorry, I'll rephrase that. What's the other signs of a healing or a recovery? Well, you're basically feeling all the emotions. Every single thing is triggering in your life, whether it's your partner, your mate, your work colleagues. So I've got a bit of an itchy face there. Your work colleagues, just things seems to be getting like on top of you. You feel like everything's a bit of you're noticing that things are irritating you more than normal, right? That's also a healing too as well, because there is something inside of you that is making you feel irritable or sensitive, right, to things. So recovery doesn't necessarily have to mean that you're a mess, you're crying every day, you're getting up, you don't want to get up. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that. That's what I'm saying at the beginning of this reading, that you may not even think that you're going through it. But I want to say to you, if you feel like something is missing and you haven't got all those emotional symptoms, well then I would say to you, if something feels like it's missing, it is. So don't make a decision yet. And when we basically vibrate on a level of high vibe, right, things are right. So when things aren't high vibes or high energy, doesn't mean high energy all the time, or just medium energy, then you pretty much can tell that things feel aligned. Things feel like everything is stacking up the way you've intended for them to be, right? But if things don't feel like they are aligned or there's just something missing, that's a sign. Take a step back and you need to do some work with yourself. And that doesn't mean you have to sit there and journal and do all the things that maybe you've never done before. It may mean that you need to journal. It may just mean that you want to read a book and sit on the beach every morning. You might want to do meditation. You might just want to listen to loud music every day and just start singing in the car like a crazy man or woman, right? So all those things, just coming back to yourself and finding those little things that are small things, that are joyful things. So that's what I got for you with the recovery reading. It's more around, okay, no, I wouldn't make that decision now. I would step back into yourself and do some work with yourself. And healing doesn't, as I said, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have to go and get a healer to help you or go and see a doctor. I'm not saying that. I'm saying to you, take some time for yourself before you go making any decisions, because I will say to you the decision is not the right time to make right now. That's what I'm going to say to you. So time for you to heal. And so that means you've got to see yourself. You've got to basically look in the mirror and go, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? What's missing? And the only way to do that is to be still with yourself. Or tap it out with your mates if that's how you like to do things. Yeah? So that's your reading. I hope you've loved your reading this week, card 1 choosers. And I'm going to be back and do card number 2. Okay, card choosers number 2. Okay, so as I said at the beginning of this video, I said that I feel like at the moment, because we're in winter, and if you're in the other side of the world, I would probably say to you the same thing. So whether it's summer, winter, autumn or spring, wherever you are in the world, that there's right now this thing of decisions and being a hermit, that you need to just take those steps back. So I've done a reading this week on decisions again because I felt like it was the right thing to do. Before I even go into any reading, I always try and tap into what is it that my viewers need to hear. And this one said, not the right time. So it's not the right time. It's not time for you to make those decisions. So if you are at this like standstill with your career or with a relationship and you're like, I don't know what to do, I'm in doubt, I'm scared, I'm fearful, there's two choices you can make. You can jump into it and take the chance, take the risk, right? Or you can take the step back and listen to this guidance and just wait until you feel right about making that decision. And that might just mean that, because I'm a big believer of when we're in doubt, and you got to know whether it's fear or whether it's your body telling you no. So I'll tap into that in a second. So for me, if you're in doubt, you're not ready to make those decisions. But I want to say to you, when there's doubt and there's fear is like, for me, when the fear is coming up, you know, when you get those funny little butterflies and you get those funny little feelings in your tummy and it's like you're scared, right? Doubtfulness is when, right? So you get the little butterflies and you basically your heart starts to feel really different when you want to make a decision. But when you are in doubt, we question it over and over and over and over again, right? We go over it. It's almost like we want to sit there and go over the whole of whatever it is that you're going through 1,000,001 times before you can even be clear about it. To me, that's doubt, because you just keep going around in circles, like keep playing that recorder over and over and over again. So for me, it's like, yeah, you may feel like you want to make the change, but if you're in doubt, maybe that's not the right decision. So if there's a decision here that you know you want to make, but then you're here now going, should I, shouldn't I? Maybe that decision there is not the right one. You just got to wait a little bit longer till something else comes up or someone else comes across your path and you go, oh my God, that's the right answer. You'll get the sign. We all get signs every single day each and every one of us gets signs every day. It's just whether you want to see them or not. And then you've got your people who are more logical, and hats off to those people. I literally feel drained when I'm too logical. So I always trust signs. Signs to me are my biggest GPS. And that means your intuition and always following what comes through and just little things around you every day that you're surrounded by and just trusting those signs. And I mean, they can be signs that are the most ridiculous of things. You know, I'm not talking about rainbows and unicorns and feathers popping in front of you. I'm talking about signs where you'll just be driving along and you'll see a sign on the road and it'll say something that resonates with you around your decision. Does that make sense? It could be a word or it could be a name or it could be a colour, but signs come in the most weirdest of things, right? Electricity is also another two big things as well. Like if you say you're in your house and then you see something turn on uncannily, like you go, oh my God, did that just turn on? Say it's a clock or it's a TV or anything electrical, right? So it turns on, that's a sign. And don't think that's just a coincidence or it just happened or whatever. Like think intuitively and think from a signpost or a sign point view, because we all get signs every single day and they're there to guide us. It's the unknown and we don't always know all the answers, right? So for me, sometimes the answers ain't always the obvious. That was a good one. So the answers ain't always the obvious. So they're not always going to be logic. So we've got to trust ourselves, right? So again, and sometimes I hear people say to me, well, how do you know if that's fear talking? You know when it's fear talking, right? Fear, as I said, doubt will always question every single thing, every single element, every single person, every single thing. Fear is like a scared feeling. Your body starts to, you can feel it in your body. Your body starts to energetically feel very differently. Your heart starts to go faster. You start to feel maybe sick. Some people, when they get fear, they feel really sick in the tummy, like, oh my God, they're not coping. Well, that's because it's the unknown. It's uncomfortable to get into something that we've never been before or do before or choose before, or we've never done that thing before, right? So that's fear to me, whereas doubting is when we just keep repeating the same thing over and over again in our mind. It's like a re-recording. So I would say to you, And I babbled on a little bit just then, so I do apologise. But not the right time for you. Now, if that doesn't resonate with you and you don't feel like you've needed to make any decisions, because sometimes that can happen, I want to say to you, are you questioning right now? Are you questioning right now this whole process? That's what I just got. So I don't know if that resonates with you or not, but if you didn't have a question or you didn't have a decision to make, I would say to you, are you questioning your processing right now? That's what I just got for you. So I hope you've enjoyed the card 2 chooses. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. So I'm going to be back in a second to share some announcements with you. Thank you for watching my reading. And thank you for being here if you've come this far and you've watched it right to the end. So I've got a few announcements to make. As always, you know that I'm on social media. My favourite place is Instagram. I love Instagram. And I'm on Facebook, Rechelle Mackay, the Free Spirit Woman, but I'm on Instagram as Rechelle Mackay. So this week we're going to be launching the new website, Free Spirit Woman, and it's going to be all completely rebranded, more around myself and what I'm about and how I love to serve and how I love to help people. So if you head on over to my website, www.freespiritwoman, up here, there's a little, there's going to be a little button I think you can press, like W button here. So you just press there and it'll take you straight to my website and you can sign up for getting an email this week. And basically there's going to be a whole new training that I'm going to be giving away as a free gift to you. And also if you sign up to that, you'll be invited to my new Facebook group that's going to be announced with signing up to it. I'm a little bit late. I thought it'd be happening last week, but it'll be happening next week. There's a lot involved when you do all these things. There's a lot of different things that has to happen, and energetically for me, I have to do things when I feel right and make decisions when I feel right too as well. So so there'll be a Facebook group invite and you can choose to go in it or not go in it. If not, you just get the free trainings to your email address, and that's going to be all around. Basically, I tell a little bit about my own personal story and what led me to where I am today and the work that I do now. And I'm not just doing hairdressing. I still do a little bit of hairdressing on the side. But this work that I do now, it took a big, massive leap in my own personal life to get to here. And I share a little bit about that in the training, just to show you where I've come from and what drives me with my passion now. And then I go into about, how I got to where I got to with getting out of my own comfort zone and making a decision around choosing this different path. And I feel like all my viewers that are watching this video, that there's something that we are drawn together, you and I, that has made you come to me because you're on that same path. You're ready to jump. You're ready to make a change. And that's why you're here. And for some reason, I'm meant to be some way impacting you or resonating with you and guide you that way. So that's what I've been getting really strongly, that all my viewers are at that point in their own personal life. So I share a lot about it in this training video, and it was like a 30-minute training, and I absolutely love doing it. And then in the Facebook group, as I said to you last week, I'm going to be doing a lot around all these different subjects and topics. I'm going to be doing a lot around intuition, living unapologetically, giving no fucks, basically who you are and why you're here, and basically shining bright. That's the other thing I'm so passionate about, that in our life we can all shine bright regardless of where we've come from or what we do. We can still get up every day and make a go of it regardless of mistakes, and not just mistakes also too, but we can also give life a go and shine bright even when things are tough and hard and we're going through a lot of personal stuff. So, and to me, that's about shining bright, because, we don't just get up every day and life's fucking perfect, do we? Life is full of ups and downs and challenges, and our lessons and life experiences are the things that make us who we are, and they make us a better person. So I'm going to be doing a lot of work around that in that Facebook group. So I hope that inspired you and gave you a little bit about what it's going to be about. But as you can see, I just can't fucking wait to do trainings in there and get to know you too, because I feel like a Facebook group will be more personal, and I'll be able to connect with you in more of a deeper level, because on here I don't know who's watching it. I just see who comments and who likes, but I feel like in the Facebook group maybe we can get to know each other more. And I'm going to be doing lots of Facebook lives, so it'll feel really really present and really now for you, so you can really connect with me in that moment, in that actual minute of where we are right now. So I thought that would also be an amazing a thing for you to give to you. And I love doing videos, hence why I'm doing YouTube. You know, my channel ain't massive, but I'm very passionate about connecting with people in face-to-face and eye-to-eye. I've always been passionate about that. I mean, if you can feel someone and relate to somebody, they're meant to be in your world, and we're meant to be here together. So that's why I love doing it. Okay, so that's all that. And what else am I going to say to you? Another announcement is I am relaunching my podcast. Now, I haven't done my podcast, I think it's been about 6 months since I've created a new podcast. So I've been in the making, in the processing. What am I going to do with it? What am I going to call it? What's it going to be about? And my girl that actually helps me in my business, she doesn't even know this, so she's going to be watching this like, oh my God, Rechelle. So what I have decided to do with my podcast, it's going to be called Shining Bright with Rechelle, or Shine Bright with Rechelle, one or the other. And I'm going to be talking a lot about all my own things that have helped me along my way, instead of making it more of an interview process with big names, even though I will bring people in like that. But I was thinking to really help the everyday person is for people in my Facebook group that would be open to getting on a podcast with me and talking to me about something that maybe you are having trouble with, and I could help you in some way, or guide you in some way, mentor you around that we get on and do like a podcast, like a 15-minute to half an hour max podcast. And it's like this, almost like not a reading, but a reading in a sense. And we jump on the podcast and we help other women that get to hear real life stories. And I just guide you through a process of that. And I've been thinking how could I impact and help other people? And I just think that there's, you know, in this world of social media, everything looks so rainbows and unicorns that I just want to talk to real people, not saying those big people aren't real people, but just the everyday people, or people that are wanting to jump out into the online space and create a business online, you know, or you just need help because you're struggling. And then I can do a podcast interview with you and all these viewers, and you can put your name down as anonymous too as well if you wanted to do that as well. So if you're keen about this, just put down, or you can actually email me. Down the bottom there's an email contact, and you could email me and say, hey, I'm interested in being on your podcast, Rechelle. I'd really, really love that. But that will help you. Remember, it's about me helping you, but it's also going to be helping the viewers too as well. But very real life, very everyday type stuff that we go through, each and every one of us. So that's what I'm going to do on the channel. But I'm also going to be doing lots of solo podcasts where I get on and do chats. But I thought that this could be a really good podcast where it's almost like it's interviewing the everyday person. That's what I just said. I just repeated myself. It's interviewing that everyday woman, everyday man. I'd love to get some men on there too. So if there's a man watching this, please send me a DM, send me a private message, or just email me and say I'm interested. I'd be so keen to be on your podcast, Rechelle. Because honestly, don't be afraid to tell me that. I would love to help you in that way. And of course, join the Facebook group too as well, because then I'm going to be putting them in there too as well. So that's the new podcast coming out. Keep a lookout on my social media platforms because it will be on there. And don't forget, it really helps me if you subscribe to my channel. It gets me, you know, out into the world. Share it with your friends. That would be also a great help for your friends, not for me. Because if you love this work and it's resonating with you, I'm sure you got friends that it can help too as well. And comment and like, and yeah, come and introduce yourself because I'd love to know who you are and get to meet you. But thank you so much again. I love being here with you every single week on a Monday. Oh, and one other announcement. When I first started my YouTube channel, I called it Shine Bright Babes Weekly Reading, which is what we're doing today. And I stopped doing it because I felt like it's, you know, it's gay. It's a bit girly-ish. And we will go through these processes and I started to question the name I was calling it. But guess what? This reading every single week is going to be called Shine Bright Babes weekly reading. That is what this reading's all about, helping you to shine bright the best way possible in your life. So that is what this weekly reading is about. My channel is Rechelle Mackay, but this reading is about shining bright. So you're another babe that just wants to fucking shine bright, right? So have an awesome week, and I'll see you next week. Comment, like. I'd love to meet you. Bye.